Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Comic Source. We have another San Diego Comic-Con focused episode for you today. One of my favorite things about Comic-Con every year is, all people of all kinds of different varieties, no matter what you collect, no matter what your particular geek or nerd thing is, we all come together and share that love. And there's no better time that it's shared than at the Fandom party every year. So I have Zach Michaels from Fandom joining us. He's one of their event coordinators, herding cats, putting this thing together. So he's going to share some of the things that are going to be at the Fandom party this year and talk about fandom in general. So Zach, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I know how you must be crazy busy in the final preparations for the Fandom party every year, which is the hottest ticket at San Diego, as you know. So why don't you start off by telling everybody what some of the special things that you have planned for the party this year?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about this year. We go into it every year thinking like, how do we make it a little bit different this year? How do we make it a little bit better? The main thing to say, this is the first time we have a rock band at the party. The All American Rejects will be headlining. We're really excited about them. They're sort of like, they're a nostalgic favorite, but also really of the moment right now. They're touring people's backyards. They're going to go on a world tour later this year. So a lot of fun there. We're really excited for that. We have Universal Orlando Resort back. They're promoting their new Epic Universe Resort in Orlando. So we're going to have, activations from How to Train Your Dragon, Universal Monsters, Harry Potter, and Nintendo Land. Or Super Nintendo World, excuse me. And then we'll also have, our other main sponsor is going to be Bandai Namco with a new game called Code Vein 2, which is going to be a, anime-inspired vampire game. So there's going to be a really cool photo op there as well. So, lots of fun stuff.
And if anybody's attending San Diego Comic-Con, they're like, okay, this sounds like the place to be. Where's the best place to go? I know that there are some limited tickets available for general public and what have you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, our general public sweepstakes has already passed. Okay. So those who did win, passes or even just a wait list spot already got it. But there will be, and this is what I can tease, and I think follow Fandom socials for this. There will be some social crews on the ground, sort of like street teams, that will have some tickets to give away. So definitely, follow Get Fandom on, Instagram and other socials. And I think there'll be a chance for people to win tickets on the ground at Comic-Con.
Fantastic. I'll put links in the show notes, everybody, to Fandom social media. So go click there, give them a follow. Because that's the other thing about this. It's not like Fandom just pops up at San Diego Comic-Con, throws this epic party every year. To really bring all of us nerds together and kind of share in our love of all things geek. But I mean, you guys year round. I mean, it is the place to be for community, to feel like you're part of something, to let your geek flag fly no matter what it is, comics, movies, games, whatever. So talk a little bit about Fandom just in general, Zach, and your feeling, having been there for a number of years now, just what you guys are all about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 6.5 years in now. I've been with the business for a long time, and I think it's a special place to work because when it comes to like the breadth and diversity of fandoms out there, we really just try to celebrate what everybody's into, and like I've learned so much about different comics and TV and movies and video games that like I never would have known about. And I think like, and that's because whenever we have a project, we approach it like we want to get in the minds of fans, and we tap into our communities to help teach us. And, it's a really great place to work if you like pop culture, so, which I assume most of your listeners do.
Yeah, 100%. And really, Fandom is the place for pop culture. I mean, there have been various, sites and brands, over the years. Nerdist is one that comes to mind. And I'm not trying to call anybody out, but as things have gotten more corporate over time, certainly, if you're into comics, we know those comic news sites have become more corporate, and it's almost all listicle articles now and that sort of thing. But fandom remains, very passionate and kind of faithful to what it means to be a fan of things. So it's definitely a site that I go to, if not daily, at least 4 or 5 times a week to keep up on the pulse of what's going on. So again, I highly recommend it. Again, follow them on social media. I'll put a link to the website as well in the show notes. But specifically getting back to the fandom party every year, Zach, you mentioned 6 years you've been doing it. Any favorite moments or anything that you love about the party? The fact that it is so many people within the industry and fans coming together, and musical acts, as you said. Like, what is it about the party that makes it so special? Do you think any favorite moments for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just like having fans there, like totally changes the dynamic. If as opposed to being at like an industry only event, I think the fans really bring the energy and they bring a lot of the excitement, which I'm really grateful for as an event producer. But I really think like we really try to bring in, the most creative team possible for this. And we do really interesting things. A favorite moment of mine, you have the 2019 party in the background, and I'll never forget it because that year we worked with Cirque du Soleil. We brought motorcycles and had motorcycle stunts up on the 4th floor roof. We did a controlled high fall off one of the balconies, and I'm just like, I think we all have such a good time doing this, and I'm really, having led this event for a number of years now, I'm just, really grateful for, the people that come along for the ride with me and see what could be a big challenge or something that might seem crazy and are like, okay, let's see how we can figure this out.
Yeah, and I love a little behind the scenes, everybody. I love as soon as Zach joined and he saw my background, he knew immediately the year. He goes, "Oh, that was our 2019." That was awesome. So yeah, it's always a great time. And again, Fandom, if you're at all into pop culture, geek stuff, you definitely should be giving them a follow. So again, as Zach mentioned, they'll be on the boots on the ground. Perhaps you can get some tickets, but be sure you're following them for on social media so you know when those giveaways are going to happen. As we're winding down here, Zach, anything else to share? Anything else you would like any people in our audience to know?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a big presence at Comic-Con this year. We're working with Coca-Cola on a Star Wars inspired activation that's going to be, outside the convention center across the street. That should be a lot of fun. We have a smaller community event happening Friday night, centered around Star Trek. It's the 20th anniversary of Memory Alpha, which is the Star Trek wiki on Fandom. And Saturday morning, 10 a.m., we're doing a panel with Universal Orlando Resort. We've worked really hard on it. There's going to be a very special guest there. So if you are free 10 a.m. Saturday morning and you have a Comic-Con badge, please check out our panel. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll put details for the panel in the show notes as well, everybody, so you'll know what room. And I'm very curious to hear who that special guest is going to be. So I think what we can say is definitely follow Fandom on social media, especially if you're going to be at Comic-Con. They'll be updating throughout the event about giveaways, and as Zach mentioned, that Coca-Cola activation is really cool. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to check that out well. So I really appreciate the time, Zach. I know how busy you are right now, and hopefully we can touch base at the party. It'd be great to meet face to face.
Yeah, I'd love to see you there. Thanks, Chase.
And to everybody out there in our audience, whether you're joining us on YouTube or the podcast feed, on behalf of Zach and myself, we really want to appreciate you all taking the time, and we'll talk to you on the next one.